matter is that when we came here, Saskatchewan used to be a struggle.
No, that's the problem.
Up till today.
Used to be a struggle.
That's a good, because in reality, can I just state the obvious here?
Go for it.
Everybody has an accent.
Yep.
Everybody speaks with an accent.
As a matter of fact, when I started out a teacher here, on my first day in class, I tell the students, I speak with an accent. Please listen to me carefully.
Oh, wow.
But the truth is that I don't force accent on myself, even in the class.
Thank you.
the point.
That's where we are going now.
It's a little bit annoying, you know, when you meet someone who is from very much like you, and you're trying to create acquaintances, and they are trying to form Americana, Canadian.
You arrived in Canada just after a week. You said, "Oh, can you give me that freck?" That is affectation. That is not integration. And we have so many of our people doing that.
They've arrived, and they want you to know that they've arrived. And when they give the accent like this, it's a Jamaican accent. Or
Patois version.
accent. It's a Yugoslavian accent. You know that, or they give, unless it turns to a British accent. It's not just about changing to anything. And you know that this Canada is big. There's people, it's a melting pot. People are from everywhere. If your neighbor is a Jamaican and your other neighbor is a Russian, by the time you come out with your Canadian accent, it can be a Russian accent. Yeah, man. People should just take it easy on themselves and be safe.
Yeah.
Be safe. Oh.
Welcome to Naija Now. Living abroad means one thing is almost guaranteed. You are constantly interacting with people from different cultures, from different backgrounds and ways of life.
And for many Nigerians in diaspora, the interactions often starts with a pause after you speak.
So today's conversation is accent war. Should we blend in or stay original? Is adjusting your accent a way to be understood, or is it slowly losing a part of yourself?
From workplaces and classrooms to social spaces and everyday conversations, many Nigerians abroad are quietly navigating this tension, trying to fit in while still holding on to who they are.
So today we are unpacking the pressure, the pride, the confusion, if you like, and the choices that come with sounding Nigerian in a global world.
This is Naija Now. Let's talk.
All right, guys, so it's accent war, and that's where we want to start today, as you all know. And I know that we've been at some places, at some spaces sometimes where people will just ask you, when you start conversation, they'll say, where exactly are you from? I want to get your thoughts, guys.
And it's not that they don't, it's not that they didn't hear what you said.
I don't mind that, we know.
In the earlier days,
Yes.
I would, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed straight from Nigeria. I would start, I'm from Nigeria, West Africa. And you're going, but your English is fantastic.
It's so good.
You know, and I didn't even realize at the point, but lately, in more recent times, after doing this for about 8-9 years, when they ask me where I'm from, I just tell I'm from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, just to pull their legs. And then the next question will now come. I mean, where are you from originally? And I'll be like, originally. Oh yeah, I'm from Nigeria and West Africa.
So, Soji, for you, I know you speak to a lot of, loud, big crowd of people who are more indigenous here, from students to staff and all that. What does it feel like when you get into conversation, people ask you that question? Have they ever asked you where you're from?
Hey, my brother, several times. Several times. I think, like, modely, I used to be conscious when responding to that, conscious and I think more decent, I would say, and trying to respond, I am from here. But at a later stage, living here, I found that question a bit pejorative. Like, it's like you are profiling my background.
There are no two words for it. That's what it is.
Most times I laugh it away because the question is actually irrelevant to what we are talking about.
So you think there are intent behind the question that they probably don't say it when they ask where you're from. They just want to let you know that you're not part of us.
It depends. Some people are actually it is a question they ask because they are so they just really admire the way you talk, the way you have control, of the language, you know, the confidence. They just want to know what's your background. But for some other people, they know where you are from, that this person is from Africa, even if they don't know your particular country, but they want to know your trajectory. How come you arrived at this level where your English is?
And this seat that you're sitting on, this prestigious seat that you're sitting on, that gives you ranking. You know, almost an envy.
So, but Toby, you get into places like America where you already have black people looking like you, but you speak, even the same black people begin to question your where you're from. What has been the experience for you?
It's been good. I mean, for me, I welcome it. It's an opportunity for me to talk and express myself and get into conversations, but it's not always been pleasant. You know, sometimes it comes as an attack. You know, you feel attacked. Sometimes you feel segregated based on things like that. When you be like, where you from? Like, you sound African, you know. They look at you like we're both black skin, but you're not.
Did they ever ask you?
They're not us. They're not like us.
You're not
Did they
us,
ever ask you, do you know John? Do you know John? He's from Africa too. Do you know John?
Yeah, they do that a lot. You know, like, oh, meet another African. You know, some of them don't mean anything bad by doing that, but the majority just want to know. And, you know, sounding different is the same thing. I do it too. And I'll be honest, I've asked people where you from too. You know, when you hear someone from like something that sounds Caribbean, you want to know which of the Caribbean accents this is. Is it Jamaican or is it Haiti or
Barbados?
Is it, you know, Barbados, you know.
Harmless.
And it's the same way they feel
But
too
it all
when they hear that
depends on
accent.
how they ask the question. I mean,
Right.
I mean, if you see me, I'm black. Obviously from Africa, because I don't know where all the blacks are from. I mean, wherever you find yourself, you obviously
started
from
out
Africa,
in Africa.
right? But when you ask me where you're from, I mean, I feel there are better ways you can ask these questions. Like, you have an accent that's like, you know, someone from here, I've been there. Is that where you're from? That's direct. It shows that you're not hiding anything. You're just being open and you want to meet me some more. But the other part is that you say things and they ask you to repeat over and over. How does that feel? I'll leave you guys to tell me your thoughts.
Well, I'll share an experience. There was a day when I just got in that I was trying to buy something at a drive-thru. And I think it was McDonald's. I can't really remember. It was one of those places.
This is going to be good.
And I got there. I went through the drive-thru. I got to the speaker. And it was like, I think Popeye, some chicken thing. And I was like, hey, I want chicken. I want 2. I was like, huh? I said, I want 2 chicken, big. You want a bowl? I'm like, no, I want 2 chicken. And it kept on and on and on. And I was like, how come you don't understand that I just want, you know, they want you to say 2-piece.
Yeah, they're set in their ways.
There's a certain set of words they want to hear. And if they don't hear it, you sound bougie, you sound ras to them, you know. The same way we look at other people when they don't talk, exactly, you know, back home, it's the same way they look at us. And
let me go back to you, Soji, but before you do, I mean, talking about going drive-through, my first trip to the US, that was several years ago, about 2013, 2012. I ended up buying the same thing 3 times because I didn't get it right. With me, she said, okay, let's go. No, it wasn't the drive-through, so we went right inside McDonald's.
Okay.
And I said something. But before I said, I made my order. There are people on the queue. I knew I was just hungry. We needed something. And I told my wife, okay, let's watch this guy. What this guy
what they says.
As soon as it was done, I said, okay, I want to have what that guy said. They said something. I said yes. They said another. I said yes. I'm like, okay. They brought a complete different thing to me.
Oh, boy.
I said, okay, we'll keep this one. We'll carry this one. We went back in until my wife told me, tell them that we need this. But I think it's important to really try to be in that space, understand how they say things. But Toby, I mean, Soji, what should people be mindful of rather than just blending? Is it okay when people ask you this question, and how do you think people should be responding to it? Like,
how do you receive it?
Do you receive it? How do you receive your attitude towards this? Should we always feel like there's something behind the question that is not said?
No, I don't think we should always feel there is something behind asking that question. I think the best way to admit ourselves into responding to that question is just to assume that it's a harmless question.
Good intentions.
You know, it doesn't matter if the person behind the question has something behind it. Once we assume it's harmless, I think there is this feeling inside of
So
us
people
when we respond.
shouldn't really feel bad about it.
Yeah, I don't think we should really feel bad until we can situate the intention of the
So
person.
should they step up to speak in that accent within that area just so that they'll be accepted?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. The question of accents is, I think, is much deeper than that. You know, for me, I speak to students, like you said, I speak to professors almost every day. As a matter of fact, when I started out as a teacher here, on my first day in class, I tell the students, I speak with an accent. Please listen to me carefully.
Oh, wow.
You know. But after some years, I found out that it seemed like an unfair opening to my relationship to the students. You know, I feel I don't need to tell them
that anymore.
Yeah, so I don't do that anymore. But the truth is that I don't force accent on myself, even in the class.
Thank you. That's where we are going now. Because in reality, can I just state the obvious here?
Go for it.
Everybody has an accent. Everybody speaks with an accent. And so if they try to, in a conversation with someone, if they try to elevate the fact that you're speaking with an accent that's different from them, sometimes if the relationship allows for it, you could, with some, gentle banter, just let them realize that, we all have accents. Like you have one, as well. Find a way, to chip it in. I think the goal really, especially if, you're standing in front of people, my second job that I had here was a telco job. So I was on the phone 8 hours a day speaking to people. So they didn't see me, my mannerisms, the only thing that they had was my tone, my voice, my accent. And I had to answer this question, the one you raised, where, okay, should I now change my accent, so that I can be accepted? And I had to make up my mind very quickly. Number one, nobody send me message. Sheba, I'm the one that acquired my loads
and applied
from my own area, where all of us have the same accent. And if your accent is different, we understand why you're Hausa, you're this, and it's not a big deal. I'm the one that came here with my load, right? So I took it to mean that the onus now rests on me to make myself understood when I am spoken to. So I quickly pivoted from it being about the accent to being able to communicate. So what that then meant was I started to listen for their own terminologies, their own way of saying stuff, not necessarily because I wanted to fit in, but because I wanted peace of mind and I wanted conversations to go around just the one time. Don't ask me 3 or 4 times what I said. So I will say it the way you said it. And before I knew what was happening, something funny started happening. If I'm speaking to a non-Nigerian, and I'm speaking and we're conversing, and all that, then a Nigerian comes in. And next I just go, hey, guy, alpha. Then you see a look on their face, like almost a betrayal. It's like, what did you just do there?
Right.
Like, you spoke to us a certain way, and you spoke to us.
And then you switched.
And I'm like, guy, keep your hair on. You understand me? They understand. I'm saying to each person what each person is.
So I think it's about understanding the nuances around, right? Trying to at least understand what they mean by, like in Nigeria, we call toilet. Now they call it bathroom. A washroom. So it's different. Don't say because I must speak it the Nigerian way. They won't understand you. You're less here, they are more here. But again, Toby, this accent thing is really not just about foreigners, so people who are not from our continent. It's also even within the Nigerian cultures, right? And we see that sometimes you meet your fellow Nigerian, the person says, hey, where did you say you come from again? There's also, you can see it's happening within us. Have you had that experience?
Oh yeah, a lot of times. And for some instances, it's a little bit annoying, when you meet someone who is from
very much like you,
and you're trying to create acquaintances, and they are trying to form Americana, Canadian, and you're like, come on, man. I mean, I see your name. I was in an Uber, for instance, one day, and I saw that the driver was someone like me. I saw the name, the first and last name was from my side, and I was trying to,
be familiar.
Yeah, be familiar. And the guy, nah, I'm not. I'm like, what?
Guy,
and they look your name, like, and he sounded he had a thick accent that is not even working what he was trying to do, but You know, you meet that, and then some other times
You were reminding him of his past.
of a spa.
Giving him PTSD.
Something he ran away from. He didn't want to have nothing to do with that no more. Yeah.
Right.
But then there are lots of other instances where people will jump on it, and you know, like Modele said, people will switch all of a sudden, and before you know it, we're speaking Yoruba. And then before you know it, we're speaking Pidgin.
Yeah.
And before you know it, we're back to straight English. And before you know it, we're Patois or straight American.
I wanted to just you guys one. So when we came here, all those many years ago, our oldest son was 6.
Okay.
And he was going into elementary school for the first time. This whole accent thing, like at how an accent can just put pressure on you, you know, it was fascinating to me. So we went into grade school, you know, for the first time. You know, we had all come from, like, he came, you know, with a Nigerian accent. So we got to grade school, and, you know, people were just getting to meet the teachers, you know, and everything. And then they just turned around, you know, to our son and said, "Hello, what's your name?" And my son just said, "My name's Mariwa." And I was like, that wasn't your name when we left home 5 weeks ago.
Mariwa.
So something does happen. Something does happen, you know, to you when you are around a different kind of tonation and intonation on all the syllables and all the words. And sometimes, you know, you do adapt to it. But like you said, it should be a natural adaptation.
I mean, it happens to me a lot too. Sometimes people want to pronounce my name and they say Oluwa, and I'll wait for you to land, and if it doesn't sound like my name, I'll be like, no. That's not what it is. But I realize that, you know, the environment is different. There's no way you will teach them. They will probably never get the tonation, the nuance and the fluctuation of Oluwatobi. They probably will never get that. The closest they'll have is Oluwatobi. And sometimes I had what's your name? I had instance where I'll say my name is Oluwatobi. My name is not Oluwatobi. My name is Oluwatobi. But how many people do I want to go about telling that, hey, it's the Mire? They won't get that.
But you could rescue them by just confining them to the last four.
The last four,
Like me, Olu Soji, I just said my name is Soji. So everyone comes.
To that point. But some people will think that you don't have to change who you are, your personality, your name, because name comes with culture, right?
It
comes with your belief and the traditions. And why do you want to change it for someone?
Yeah,
they didn't change theirs for us, right? So, is it also just to tie this to whatever your response will be? That is it also a good form of intellect when people can speak with the accent in an area? How should people judge this? That it really doesn't tell that you're smart or you don't know your job or you don't belong here. How can people balance that just because you can speak like them?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my earlier argument was not changing them. Like, you are McDonald. I could call you Donald or Mac.
No. You have to be very careful if you're doing that, because there are people who say, I'm not Donald.
I am not cultural thing.
You have to put it together the way.
You have to give them their full name.
If they can pronounce
Konstantin
Stanislavski, some Russian name, nobody misses it. The Russian president's name is not an easy name to pronounce.
But he's a very important
But
person.
everybody pronounces it right. I've not seen somebody who says, you know, they mix it up. When, you know, all of those boxers, wrestlers from Russia, Ukraine, we get them right.
Soji, I'll let you land. But again, add to the fact that the truth of the matter is that when we came here, Saskatchewan used to be a struggle.
No, that's a problem.
Up till today.
Used to be a struggle. But we can pronounce. Just go ahead with your point.
Well, the issue here is what the wave of migration has caused really had changed who we are and how we respond to things, and how we define our status in terms of the intellect and the social. I over the time I've divided this thing into 3 strands of people.
Okay.
You know, those who go with affectation.
Those who
we've started. I didn't want to talk
those
before.
Who go with integration, and those who go with acculturation. So I'm talking about affectation, integration, and acculturation. So let's start with acculturation. That one is almost organic and natural. You know, your cultural expression is organically changed, and that happens to a particular demography of people.
It could that be the
children.
The children, exactly.
Okay.
So within a year or two, you see your children. I can't hear you speak like a, you know. So organically,
Okay.
they are changed.
transition.
That is acculturation.
Right.
Now the problem is we who came here as full adults, you know. So we oscillate between integration and affectation.
Okay.
For me, I know I integrate because this is my job.
Yes.
I talk to people. People who don't understand my accent, or sometimes too lazy to even listen to my accent because they are too used to what they hear every day.
Right.
You know. So sometimes I try, you know, to, because I want to make myself clear.
Absolutely.
I have to know the difference between mother and mother. Even though Rotic, R, is not in my Yoruba language. You know. So I try to integrate just for the sake of understanding ourselves.
Yes.
Get the work done, get my pay, I go enjoy my life.
So.
And there is affectation.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I need to feel among. The culture of feeling among, or the culture of being to.
Belonging.
The culture of, no, not even belonging, being to. Oh, I've been there, I'm an American, whatever. You arrived in Canada just after a week. You was, oh, can you give me that fake? That is affectation. That is not integration. And we have so many of our people doing that. Now that is where
Don't become a whole
that is where the problem of diminishing
wants to break this table.
intellect.
For real.
Yeah, that is where the problem of diminishing one's intellect comes in.
Gotcha.
When you throw yourself into affectation. That is not what
Sir,
we
on
need.
this affectation point,
There is one more.
I need to talk
He
about
needs,
this.
he needs to finish that last one.
Because I think Model has been waiting for him to land.
Okay.
Next Monday.
Have you
I've landed.
Okay.
I've landed.
There is one
Passengers have
I need to add
disembarked.
Let us tell ourselves the truth about this affectation matter. You see, I've seen this thing. I've seen it in my 10 years. I've seen it, and it says
We
very
see it
sad.
every day. We see
That's
it
why you
every
just
day.
see someone that, you know, they've arrived and they want you to know that they've arrived. And when they give the accent like this, it's a Jamaican accent. Or
Patois version.
another accent. It's a Yugoslavian accent. You know that all they give, unless it turns to a British accent. It's not just about changing to anything.
confusing us.
And you know that this Canada is big. There's people, it's a melting pot. People are from everywhere. If your neighbor is a Jamaican and your other neighbor is a Russian, by the time you come out with your Canadian accent, it can be a Russian accent. Yeah, man.
Yo, man.
Yo, man. People should just take it easy on themselves and be safe.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Yeah, in the beginning. In
In the beginning.
Toby, I'm coming to you. He says,
Okay.
blending in or adaptation. Would I call that self-erasure? Would I call that a wannabe situation? Because the truth of the matter is that we've got people, you know, across board, like some just wannabe.
Yeah.
For example, I've had people say that you go for lunch with someone who is from your place. You speak before you left the office for lunch. You spoke pidgin.
Yes.
And then you've gotten the white colleagues in the midst. The pidgin disappears to even your same person.
Yeah.
What are you? I mean, do you know that I feel like we can actually let our friends in to understand why we speak the way we speak and just help them? Because
I do. I
sometimes
try.
We should.
I try.
Yeah.
For instance, an average Southern
So do you think
Nigerian.
it's erasure of your own self-personality or your traditions or your belief when you try to make these moves?
No, I don't think so. But before I answer that, let me
wanted to
quickly.
add.
I wanted to
Hey,
add.
yes.
I wanted to add to that part. So there are instances where, you know, people will be forced to speak a certain way so that they can be for lack of another word, accepted into that community. If you don't, you will not be fully accepted. For instance, there are people, you know, if you're among Jamaicans, you know, there's a patois English. It's English. You know, if you don't sound that way, you will always be an outsider in that gathering. So you will see someone trying to be. Someone might look at that and say that person is a wannabe. He's just trying to know. He's trying to blend into that conversations, those kind
adapt.
of, to adapt to that environment,
Okay.
so that at least he or she can be accepted in those conversations they have it. And it's the same with all manner of languages. But I don't think they are doing stretching beyond reach. Every one of us will find ourselves, especially in a country like this where there are 1,000,001 accents. Everywhere you turn, there is a Nova Scotian accent.
Yes.
There's
a New Brunswick
New
accent.
Brunswick.
There's a Newfoundland
There's a
accent.
Newfoundland. Everywhere you turn.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking of people who came from outside now.
Yes.
The indigenous ones have there are varieties of it. So in a place like that, you find yourself in environments, in circles where you will be forced to speak other than the way you will naturally speak. And I found myself, certain times trying to communicate with someone and sounding like them. I found myself in the midst of, not particularly that, but in the midst of Indians, sometimes sounding like that.
I wanted to ask if you've stayed in Brampton before.
No, but I've stayed in North York.
Because
and I'm very close to.
Special accent there.
Oh yeah,
Really?
Toronto has an accent.
and if you go to there, if you go,
Toronto has accent, right?
There was this movie by, is it Kelvin Hart and somebody, the man from Toronto.
Okay.
That movie was completely criticized for missing Toronto accent.
Wow.
Yeah. So you could see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So
Modele, I will come to you on this one. Is it possible that if you can't speak in a certain way, it could stop your progress growing or getting up the ladder in some places? Can that hinder some opportunities you're most likely to get within the space? Because people might be concerned around, if I don't speak, if me now we know Sabi talk like that, how do I fit in and benefit from the opportunities around?
Can I speak to you quite frankly?
Please go
about
for
this?
it. Go for
Now,
it.
in about 8 years of corporate work here, it's unfortunately I have to tell you that it does. It does
Really?
affect.
It does
I've had
affect,
people
right?
confide in me, sometimes about some of our colleagues, to say, oh, this guy, we struggle to, and I'm not talking about even an African now.
Yes.
I've had some challenges like with Asians, and they would say, when you speak, we hear you. And he said, but this guy, I just don't get it. And then before you know what's happening, they're avoiding that kind of person, or avoiding putting them, in certain, roles and stuff like that. So I also heard of someone who had a dream to be something in sales and marketing. And he said one of his Caucasian friends called him and said, see, guy, let me tell you the truth. Have you heard your accent, buddy? I think we're saying
just a reminder.
So I think we need to pivot this career thing like in another direction. So what that means is, immigrating is a challenge. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. But I will also say that I think that we do have the right to advocate for ourselves to some degree. Some of it, yes, we'll make the effort. Like for me, one of the things that I learned to do is talk a little slower, allowing them to digest and get the whole gist, of what I'm trying to say. But outside of that, I think that we can also advocate a little bit in the sense that, okay, say for instance, like our names. I help people. I break it down for you into syllables and stuff, and I've heard that people do that as well. Don't just come and murder my name and say, and you hear this thing that they say, they're like, I can't even pronounce it. Even if you just pronounce it yourself, so you don't worry, like. And you're talking to an intellectual. You're talking to somebody with a brain, who, if $5 million what are you talking 5 million? If 50,000 Canadian dollars was attached to you pronouncing my name, you would make the effort. So sometimes breaking it down, for them in syllables, and then remember that this is Naija Now. I'm not talking about Naija Now the show, but this season. This is the season of Naija Now. Naija is in. Nigerian clothes are in. Nigerian fashion is in.
Nigerian husbands
are everywhere.
No,
calm down about
Nigerian men are.
I know why I'm saying.
Okay,
I need to hear that.
Let's calm down so that we can admit some other
Nigerian men are in. We've heard it all. Nigerian women, God help us. Nigerian men are in. So, but what I was trying to say, let me just land really quickly, is that we can also capitalize on that to say, You know, I was talking to my friend on the phone and he had me finish it. Don't finish the food, oh. And then you tell them, say, guys, oh, you know, another. And they may begin to tease and joke around, but you bring it in.
Absolutely.
Make them feel comfortable in your difference. Bring it to the table confidently. Not overpowering, just confidently.
I agree. I mean, Nigeria is marketable, right? There are a whole lot of things that the world wants to know about us. We can
the only person who does not believe in Nigeria being marketable is Trump.
Why? I just knew you would go there.
Well, I wanted to add a little to that. I wanted to add a little to that.
All right, Toby, what's
but about telling people most of why we talk the way we do and why, like I was saying the other time, like an average Southerner has an H intrusion. We all do. And then somebody will be like, I'm going to the office, you know.
And
we all do it.
I left my house for my office.
And there is a reason for it. Like, for instance, in Yoruba.
From part of the East, right? Do you know what L and R does?
Thank you. I'm going to the landabout.
But that doesn't mean, my point is that doesn't mean that they're not smart.
No, it doesn't.
Over time, like you say, there's no arrow in Yoruba.
There is no H in Yoruba. That's the reason why we have the H intrusion. Because we add it to every vowel sound. O, A, E, I, O, U. We put H in front of every of that. So if I'm going to the office, somebody will say office. I'm going to the office. How are you? You know, and somebody, how far? And you're like, you people sound so violent. Why are you always sounding like?
I had a terrible experience with that H factor when I got into the university my first year.
You mean here?
No, not here in Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
No. You know, coming from after being a trans for several years and finally finishing secondary school. And struggling as a much more older student than the rest, you know, telling myself I have to be the best, and I came out as the best student. English A, literature A, and what, you know, coming into the university, I thought I was master of English.
Language.
You know, and then I was in my department, theater arts, University of Ibadan, and this lady who was, I think, 2 years ahead, we were talking, and I said, oil. And she said, okay, you mean oil? And I said, oil. She said, no, oil. And I absolutely did not understand what she meant. And I was feeling like, is she all right? I'm telling her oil. And she said, oil, no oil. This lady had a problem. You know, it was, fortunately, it's a department where you also learn speech. That I got myself into. It was when I was learning those things that I found out this was what that lady meant.
Trying to say
that I had this thing. I think
you were just being you.
So, but I wanted you to just react to these social lives and, of course, things around dating. You know, where you need to be honest. If you know B, you know B. Because if you tend to pretend and go to bed, might wake up a different person, and your partner will be like, I'm done. How do we handle this aspect? Should people, because I'm beginning to see a lot of things coming out of Nigerians abroad. They are beginning to have their Caucasian wives, their European wives, do our things, speak our ways, cook our food. But we still have some who are left behind, who still feel like, well, instead I'll be like them. So how do you think social life and dating should be addressed as far as being honest with your accent?
Well, I have a Nigerian brother here, brother as in, you know, as we call ourselves, brother and sister, who actually is in a marriage with a Canadian.
Caucasian, you mean?
And a Caucasian, you know.
Because she's Canadian.
Because I'm Canadian, actually.
Whenever I'm with them, I see the way he communicates with his wife. You know, his wife has been to Nigeria on occasions, and you see his attempt to actually integrate, you know, to make the wife understand. And I think the wife, to having lived together with him for some time, has also done a kind of stepping down to understand.
They are meeting somewhere in the middle.
So that's where the truth and transparency comes in. You cannot switch. You cannot change. You cannot go into affectation just because you want to date somebody. You will be let out. You know, because it's an unconscious, it's something that had grown in you several times.
You will suffer eviction.
You will suffer eviction. So that's just
So, but as far as long-term and generational thing, because again, when you keep changing and mutating, and with
Oh my
time, even the
goodness.
offspring, they
Yes.
wouldn't even know where they come from, because we've had cases where you bring your kids back home. Your parents, who their grandparents are, I mean, who are their grandparents, the same thing. A child will like, Mom, what's grandpa?
That one is worrisome.
So can't we?
That's a big
Is
one.
it a problem over time if we don't manage it? Because I mean, I visited the house of one of us here in Canada, and the kids were speaking Yoruba like
And it's,
like
it's
adults.
beautiful.
That's
It's
And they were
beautiful when it
switching
happens.
into English the
It's
same way
beautiful.
with accent, with
Yeah.
nuance.
Beautiful.
I
Like,
think if we
this is
encourage
That's a
them,
beautiful thing.
particularly what we would call, we can't really call them first generation immigrants, because we are the first generation immigrants. They came with us. In a sense. Are they still first? Are our kids
I
first
think
they are
generation?
the first
They are
generation.
Or are they second
They are also
generation?
first. They are first.
You are in
year.
transit. They are. Well, I'm sorry.
There is a different version of those who came here with us and the ones that were born here.
No, I'm talking about the ones we came with.
The one
who had Nigerian accents
Experience.
in
They are the
Nigeria.
first
Okay.
I believe I'm hardly wrong.
At least
anyway.
those are the ones that I'm able to speak to, because that's
Okay.
where my brood comes in. You know, they were already
What did you say
formed.
again?
My
When-
brood,
Wow.
my children.
You need to be
my children.
You know,
I like that.
take pen and paper.
I have recorded that. I have
This
recorded
class,
it.
I am refusing to be
I will
intimidated
check.
by
I will
the
check the
professor.
dictionary for that.
I hope I'm safe. You
I
have
will check
prof on
the
the right,
dictionary for
on the
that.
left. You have, another powerful prof, Mrs.
Yes.
As I was saying.
Uh-huh.
So my brood, they have Nigerian experience. So they came with their Nigerian accents, and it's funny to see them sometimes. When they really get into it, they get into it, right? So they're able to do that, and be comfortable around, people, their aunties, their uncles, in Nigeria. And then of course, when they're in class here, they're able to. I don't know how it feels in their minds for them, if it's actually a toggle. But for the true
Sorry to
ones
cut
born
in. There's
here,
actually no toggle. My mother-in-law was a language teacher, and she told me that smart people are people who can speak more than one language.
so it's
They
okay
don't
then.
struggle with
It's
it.
okay.
They don't
It's okay
struggle
for
with
them.
it.
Yeah, children
Okay.
barely
They don't
struggle.
struggle with it.
So
Not
it's
just
those
children, even
newer
adults,
ones.
right?
It's just the Canadian babies.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that I'm thinking about, and I think honestly
those
we need
ones
to
are
find a way
to help
them. I think we need to find a way to expose our children to culture, to Nigerian culture safely,
Yeah.
because our culture is rich, our culture is strong. We could go on and on
Absolutely.
about it, but
Yeah.
to just make
Absolutely.
sure that we really capture that, and also to help our people, not just our children, but also our people, to still maintain a sense of confidence.
What do you mean, our people?
Nigerians abroad, and even Africans abroad, to maintain a strong sense of confidence, even though we've said, oh yes, this accent thing, it can shut certain doors. There's one thing that we must say, on this show. We must agree, because I've seen it also in corporate. Nobody argues with results. I've seen
Absolutely.
people who everybody's struggling to understand what the heck.
Absolutely.
But everybody is quiet as a mouse at the table just because of the value that they bring to the table. So if we continue to, and Nigeria know they carry last, normally. If we continue to present at the table as people of excellence, unfortunately, I'm sorry, it is what it is. We have to work harder than everybody else many times to achieve it. But if you can arrive at the table ready, they will sit, they make, when they get tired, they don't know what to do again, they'll say, Olu. It's Olu,
That's
but
right.
they know that they need you. They know that they need you. I think it's where we need to get to, and get our, get them, and then also get our kids. Maybe it's lessons. I don't know if it's lessons that we need to do,
I think
or
so.
school.
Yeah.
But if it's school, how many of the 209 languages that we have in Nigeria
they
do
want to learn?
do you want to teach them?
Yeah, you want to.
Yeah, I think one thing that we must give ourselves kudos for is actually the fluency of our English,
Yes.
not the accent. They appreciate it.
You mean that's
a
what we
lot.
should focus on?
You
The
know.
fluency of the English, not the accent.
Yeah. Once you have that fluency of the English,
Yeah.
the accent is a secondary thing, which we also need
Right.
to integrate.
Like those
I
three,
said
those
earlier
three
on.
English that
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Soji spoke.
When-
Those three.
when-
Even when you, but they don't know it. They don't know it.
When we look at examples of
Your mouth is not good today.
examples of
I'm in a good mood.
Tafawa Balewa or Ahmadu Bello.
Exactly.
You see them,
Yes.
Tafawa Balewa even taught English.
My
you
goodness.
you see him stood beside the Queen.
I was a
and
proud,
was speaking.
proud Nigerian.
You see,
Yeah,
go
to hear
and check Chinua Achebe's interviews. You will see that thick Igbo accent. But this is a master of the English language. His books are read all over the world today.
Absolutely.
So people, like you said, focused more on the result if you can deliver. And one of the results we enjoy as Nigerians, maybe because of the British-styled education we had from the initial, is that fluency of English. I've met brilliant Nigerians, their English delivery, forget accent.
English delivery for the British. God save the king.
Some of your friends last December, I just want to report to you. They arrived at the national airport with accents. But when they started asking them for dollars, they started dodging. Say, kilo day.
Nah, waiting they have, waiting they solve.
So do you think it's a good practice or not? When people feel like, okay, I've lived abroad for so long, and you get down there, you begin to speak accent, is it even safe for them to start?
So whether you like it or not, accent will follow you.
No. I'm talking about the ones that came abroad and visit 2 weeks.
I know.
Affectation.
Affectation. There is a word for it. Affectation. We already know a word for it. But I just wanted to quickly clarify that people back home sometimes will even think the average person, maybe a stayed 5, 10, 15 years, whether you like it or not, will speak a certain kind of way. He doesn't even know he's speaking in a certain way, but it's an accent. It's not how he used to speak 20 years ago when he was there. So that one is a different side. Everybody will look at him from back home and like, which day did he go? You know, things like that. And he's already speaking in a certain way. But then the 2 weeks people, you know, just got a visa and he wants to show up. I mean, those ones too will be visible. There's a way it will come by.
Yes, that's true.
There's a way it comes by that you will know that this guy is just doing extra to make it, you know, very, very visible. That can't you see? Somebody said that they don't make noise, and when you are talking, you bring your voice down.
Okay, I think we'll be wrapping up here, and I'll let you all take start on all this one. Should accent actually be a topic of judgment, in the first place? Should it be something we should be concerned about, and why? I'll just let you guys say something around it. Should we even talk about it? Should it even be a thing we discuss, and why should we even discuss it as we wrap up?
Well, for me, the aspect of judgment shouldn't come in, but it's a way we profile
people
ourselves.
Shouldn't be judged for having
people shouldn't be judged, but we should. I think it's something we use to culturally profile ourselves, even among people of the same tribal affiliation. Among the Yorubas, you find, he's speaking Ijebu Yoruba, he's speaking Oyo Yoruba, he's speaking Ijesha Yoruba. So people profile and segment themselves.
Local profiling.
And I don't mean profile in the pejorative sense, just something in trying to clarify the demography of people. These people are from this side, these people are. So it's something that is innate in our human composition.
Right, Toby.
I agree with him 100%.
For the first time.
I just want to add a little.
For the first time in a long while.
Maybe that will remove.
Because I know where you guys agree.
Maybe that will. Maybe that will remove 10% out of it after I add the addition I was going to add. But sometimes what we are is what we are. The accent is just a product of our backgrounds.
Right.
And that's over the board, It goes a little beyond the profiling. It even goes as far as from back home when you say, the Ijesha, the Ijebu, it comes with attachments. Somebody will say, if you give this set of people money, they don't return it. I'm not going to mention anybody. It comes with an accent. It comes with an accent. Somebody will say, this other accent. If you marry them, they don't stay in marriage. Those kind of profiling. It comes with a lot of extra baggage that it drags along. And it starts with the profile. When the person you meet someone new and you hear them speak, and your mind already told you this person is from this part.
They don't give this people money.
I won't mention
Is it the one they call Akagom?
Don't push me beyond my band.
And then we'll clap for him.
We'll clap.
Right. Modele, what do you think? Judgment or just
I don't think, I think that we've even evolved, you know, as the human race to the point where we can't even, you know, really ask that question these days, because there's the whole thing now about diversity, equity, and inclusion, you know, and it's made it to the workplace.
But you don't call DI in some places in the world right now.
Yes, yes.
They say they should remove DI. I think that's what they said in your village.
We don't want to talk about it. You will be talking about my friend.
And we've already said we're not going to mention that name. Once I have at least one episode where we don't mention your friend. But really, I mean, where I'm going with this is that it's come to a place where all in the spirit of inclusion, you know, we have to make allowances for each other.
Absolutely.
So as we're making allowances, you know, even for our Caucasian counterparts who are also not the first people in the land, they're not the initial inhabitants of the land, then there is advocacy for us, you know, that there should also be room, you know, for us. And we're seeing now that the results of diverse teams are greater than the results of those small, you know, homogeneous teams at work, because people are not only thinking differently and arriving with a different set of experiences and a different level of risk tolerance to do greater things. They also come in with different accents, you know, to the table. So it is what it is. We just, you know, need to focus more on the results and communicating effectively.
I mean, if I may say, I've learned a lot from what you guys have said. Soji just give us the other piece with the big grammar on top of it.
I'm going to go and use that in my mouth.
If
they say I should speak.
It's not big grammar.
Ultimately,
Thank you though.
Ultimately, we all agree that your environment can influence you in some way, because sometimes you don't know your accent has changed yourself until you meet someone who you left behind. Sometimes it's like the way you talk, sir, you don't change.
But
people should be given that benefit of the doubt that an environment has happened to them.
Yes,
and that it's not a crime actually to have accent. Of course, I do it. I think that's what we have all.
Yo, man,
right?
Stay safe. Stay safe. Right, and for the love relationship, what's that movie?
Which one again?
Love in Every Word.
Love in Every Word.
It does it now. That Odogu with his thick Igbo accent. And liked a girl who wanted people to be speaking Achalugo. You know, for me, that's a lesson for the dating aspect. I wanted to say that if you produce the result of whatever it is, in that movie, the result was love. She was loved sufficiently to the point that even when the person that now came with the best accent, she just dusted him off. Oh, that part was sweet. Yes,
absolutely. Right,
movies aren't real anyway.
You had to bust my bubble there.
All right, guys. So we just wrapped up the accent war, and I think we did justice to this one. And then we'll leave it to our viewers to comment, to give us their own perspective as far as the accent war. And I think it's no better place to leave it today. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you
for having us.
Modele. There you go. There you go. There you go. All right. Great. Good time.